fishing?
A message I'd like to send out to all young people, and as an old person, is that when you see an old person, just think that that's a young person who's turned old. That's all.
When I was little, born in Jamaica, I used to go to the river with my grandmother, and we used to wash the clothes in the river and spread them to dry, same place at the riverside, and we'd have a meal there, and we bathe in the river. My grandmother used to know the different type of bush that they could use to make soap. And we'd take it to the river with us, and we put it on the clothes, and we rub it, and then you got the sod out of that, and you get to wash the dishes, and you wash dishes with it, and you wash the clothes with it as well. And we shower with it too as well. Because when you rub it on your skin, you get a lather from it and things, and you wash your hair and things like that. So yeah, you don't get any pimples or anything on your skin. Your skin clean and nice. Nowadays, your soap full of lot of chemical. We never have any chemical in what we do.
It's funny that we've got one thing in common, that we know same park.
That's right, yeah. Not everybody used to have cars in those days. The car is really quite a new thing, you know. So in the 50s and 60s, you know, they didn't have cars, right? In those days, we had the Mickle Red buses that used to go everywhere from Birmingham. Sometimes they used to go to a place called Sowerbridge in the Black Country, and my great aunt used to live there in one of these back-to-back houses, you know. It was near the gasworks. We used to go and see that. Places like the Kent Hills and places like that, the Licky Hills, you know. Licky Hills were quite a journey then, you know. You know, they used to not go to Spain, they used to go to the Licky Hills in those days, you know. They used to go to Cannon Hill, because Cannon Hill was a lot different, Cannon Hill was then, because it was like almost like Victorian. Grass used to be nicely cut like bowling greens and that. It was all formal, you know, formal gardens then, you know, rose beds and all that sort of stuff. So parks have really changed, you know, since then, you know. I used to be the parks accountant, right? And, you know, we used to have people like rangers, park keepers.
Yeah.
They don't see any park keepers now.
You don't see them anymore.
There aren't any. Not quite the same, you know, because the grass is a lot longer, put it that way.
Yeah, and the playground's a lot smaller as well.
That's
So I
right.
used to live around Fox Hollies as well.
Blame India and China for carbon emissions, and somebody you're drinking a plastic cup, or you're getting one thing from Amazon. But you need to look at the big picture. Amazon Corporation, for example. It actually was a shopping basket and not a shopping trolley in those times, so we'd buy smaller quantities, and the choice was much less. So cans and packets So there were some, but we tended to buy a lot of fresh foods as well. We'd have a mixture of Indian food and British food, rice and dal, which is one of my favourites. Bhajis, a lot of sabjis, toad in the hole, all these things which my mother learned to cook when she came to this country, and very well, and so we ate very well. There was a campaign years ago, a big campaign in Britain, Keep Britain Tidy.
Marty, that's really silly.
Yeah, if everyone did that, the place would be a disaster.
Marty, you know it costs 20.
Don't be a litter lout. They had these little slogans, and everywhere they're repeated, and these little graphics. It was like an indoctrination process for the whole nation. And it was very effective. So it was an entire generation of people who wouldn't dream of dropping litter in some way, At some stage we got a council house and had a back garden, and my father straight away started making a garden. And well, I did most of the work in the garden. He got me to do that, and I loved doing it. We grew carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, apples, and for the first time ever, and it was an amazing experience.
You got another 6 when you got a block of 6. There was also no electricity for fires, so you used to bundle paper together and put coal on to heat the room. When I went to my grand's, we used to go up to the allotment where my grand grew her own vegetables. The spring onion and sprouts weren't my cup of tea. We'd have salads, baked potato, a stew, and also a variety of different things, but sometimes you'd have again corned beef, or some people called it spam and some people called it luncheon meat, which is a form of pork minced, and on a Sunday we'd have a proper cooked meat, and then on the Monday it was the leftovers from the Sunday that was used on the Tuesday and Monday to cook. Instead of it being thrown away, like people just throw what's left from that day that they've cooked.
Istanbul, and then travelled by train from Istanbul up to France. Fantastic. How long now? Well, we didn't go shopping because we grew all our own stuff. Peanuts, potato, yam, mangoes, breadfruit. And when we want something, we just go out on the land and we get it. Into the dirt, you take up some sweet potato or some peanuts, and you bring it back, wash it, prepare it, and cook and eat. Because we used to have a lot of animals, and you get your milk from your cows, the fertilizer from your horses and your cows, and you spray it over your field, and that's how we used to do it. Yeah. The blacksmiths, there was one very close to us, and I used to watch him making stuff. I had to steal, and I picked up on that skill and used it since I've been here in this country, and things what I've done, people say, "No, where did you get that? Where did you buy that from?" I said, "Well, I made it myself."
Do you think people, like, say my age, do you think they will be able to do these same things that you were able to do, such as the melding or the blacksmith?
They can if they put their mind to it.
Do you feel like we're putting our mind to it?
But it takes a certain amount of knowledge
it.